Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm your host, Travis Reed, on an athlete's journey. Today, we got a special guest here. His name is Trey Williams, a California legend. You know what I'm saying? He come up a little bit younger than me, but like I said, he come from a lineage. His family is probably one of the top 5 greatest California players in history. We also went to the same school, but just at different times. He doesn't know that I once stayed at Crenshaw my freshman year. I was there with Chris Johnson, Tremaine Folks. You know, I was a freshman; they were seniors. But like I said, Trey has been a great player, great California player in his own right. Say what's up to the people, Trey.
What's going on, man? I appreciate you for having me.
Oh, no problem, man. No problem. You know what I'm saying? Trey's a good dude. Talk to him a little bit. You know, I was like, oh man, got to get this dude, on my show, man. You know what I'm saying? So Let's just start it off, Trey. How'd your basketball journey start?
So I'm gonna go back to childhood. Basketball was my first sport, actually. So I think I started playing around like the age of 6 at Baldwin Hills Park, which is kind of like a super competitive park because you got guys that play at multiple parks that play there. So they play at Rancho, which is like, one of the meccas of LA as far as like, growing up. So I played between those 2 parks, and it was like real competitive. But then I got into football as I got to about, I want to say 5th grade. I got into football, and I put the basketball down for a minute. And I was actually really, really good at football. So, once, time went on, I played football all through middle school. And then when I got to high school, I went to Westchester High School. And pretty much everybody knows what type of school that is. It's a basketball school. So I tried out the second day of school. I tried out for the basketball team. And I made JV as a freshman. And it was only 2 of us that did it. And that might not seem like something big, but it was big. Yeah, so I made JV as a freshman, and I was like kind of in the rotation. So it was pretty fun. We won, the city championship, JV city championship versus Crenshaw that year. I played pretty good. I played pretty good in that game because it was kind of personal. Knowing that, my family's history was Crenshaw High School.
Well, yeah, we can go into that a little bit if you want. You can tell the world who your family is.
Oh, yeah. Well, my uncle is John Williams, Crenshaw legend, went to LSU, played in the league for a couple of years.
I used to watch him. Like I said, I remember when he played with the Clippers.
Yeah, that's before my time. I everywhere I go, I hear like great things about how good he was and the comparisons he had.
So, oh yeah, he was. They used to show us like tape of him back at Crenshaw when we were at Crenshaw. He was like 6'9", 6'10", whatever it was, handling the ball, doing all that stuff. Any California person that played ball, especially when I played, everybody knew who he was.
Yeah,
for sure. But you said. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. But being at Westchester, I played with, like once I made varsity, I played with Dwayne Poley Jr.
Oh, yeah.
Us 2 being on the same team, we were #1 in the nation, and we won 2 state championships. Us being on the same team, like you would hear it a lot. That's John's nephew, and then that's Dwayne Poley Jr. and then
lineage, boy. You know what I'm saying? 2 California legends playing son. The family playing together. That's cool.
Yeah, so that was kind of cool.
All right. Well, like I said you were interested in playing football, obviously at an early age. What made you stop?
Actually, Coach Azam made me stop playing at Westchester because going into 10th grade, I actually went to practice a couple of times with the football team, and just so happened Coach Azam was up there one day in the summer, which he's never up there in the summer, and he saw me like with my cleats in my hand. And he's just like, "What you doing?" And I was like, "Man, I'm going to practice." And he's like, "Oh, I didn't know you were playing football. You're gonna be way behind." And then in my mind, I'm like, "Dang, I'm trying to make varsities next year." Then like I went to practice, and that was the last time that football field seen me.
Yeah, I get it. Like I said, a lot of coaches be like, they want you just to stick with their sport. So whatever sport you be playing, they be like, all right, you need to stick with basketball. All right, you need to stick with football, whatever the case is.
Yeah, it worked
there are
out
some
for me,
athletes
though.
who just transcend it, but I understand that. So you went to Westchester, and y'all won 2 cities, right?
Yeah, we won 2 cities. I got a couple accolades out of there. I got like all Daily Breeze, all area. Got a couple all city. I got one first team all city. I got player of the week. My 12th grade year, we lost in the championship to Spencer Dinwiddie and them. But I got player of the week, even though we lost, just because of my stat line. So I think that one game probably helped me get a scholarship. So after I got all those accolades that year, ended up going to Cal State Northridge.
Okay, but before we get into Northridge, what was your most memorable time in high school? Like your memorable moment at Westchester?
I want to say my most memorable moment was we were in Portland playing in like one of the national tournaments, and we were at the time we were number 2 in the nation, and Oak Hill was there, and they were higher than us. So it was flip-flopping throughout the the preseason and all the tournaments that we were going through. And then like we were in the same hotel, so it was kind of like, that tension is in the room. So like we never addressed each other or nothing like that. But in the tournament, it was, us two matched up in the championship. And like the night before the game, our coach played a trick on us that like we thought we was in trouble or something. Because he always threatened us to be like, I don't care about the game. If y'all messing up, I'm gonna have y'all running around this hotel, stuff like that. But he played a trick on us. Like we had like a team meeting, and like everybody thought we was like, what was going on? Like, and then they just came. Like Nike came in with a bunch of gear, like a bunch of brand new Kobe's, and and I'm an LA. We all LA kids, so Kobe's our guy. So we had a whole bunch of Kobe gear, backpacks, sweatsuits, like stuff that people wasn't going to get for like a year after we already have it. So we they blessed us with all of that, and that just elevated us for the game the next day. And then we go to the game. They had turned the lights off and put a spotlight on the introductions, and that's new to us. So then we came out and we beat them, and just to see how upset they were, that kind of gave me satisfaction.
Who was on the Oak Hill team?
They had Pishon Howard, Roscoe Smith, and they had the dude that went to Kentucky. I think his name was I can't forget his name. I forgot his name, but he was in the league a couple years too. Deron or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
right.
have to tell you that the next day. But yeah, they had one dude a couple dudes that touched the league.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's usually how it is with them, being the prep school and all that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you at Westchester, you win, a couple cities, you do really, really good. What's next?
So what's next is I was a late recruit. So I ended up signing to Cal State Northridge. They stepped into the picture late. I had a couple like people, recruiting me, and they backed out when they figured that they had a better player or whatever. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
And then I was actually going to go to Bakersfield.
Okay.
On a package deal with my point guard, but my point guard ended up going somewhere else, so that deal was over with. So I ended up going to Cal State Northridge, and I redshirted my first year to get my body right. And that I did. I was in the best shape of my life. And then going into the year after I redshirted, I played about, I want to say, almost half the game. I'm gonna say 17 to 20 minutes a game. I want to say like seventh man off the bench. I had a pretty good year under Braswell. I started a couple games also due to injuries and stuff like that, but I started a couple games. And then Braswell gets fired after that season, and they bring in Reggie Theus.
Yeah.
Then we have meetings, some people, are getting dismissed, and then some people are taking the option to leave because, a new coach is coming in.
Yeah,
and,
new system, new everything. So yeah, you're
new
right.
everything. And he basically, I guess they wanted to keep like the guys that were in the core rotation from the year before. So our meetings were different from the guys that weren't in the rotation. So they kind of swindled me in the stand. If you want to say that. So I stayed, and then I got in even better shape. Just the way that Reggie runs his system, and how everything had changed. He runs everything like the NBA. So our off-season workouts were a little bit more intense. His expectations of you as far as like your body fat and your weight and all of that was a little bit higher. And even our preseason workouts were crazy. But I grinded through all of that, did everything right, was on time to everything. Grades were fine. And I'm thinking everything is cool. Like practice, like nobody, he has, he brought a couple guys in from other schools and guys that he recruited. But I'm not really worried about that because I don't feel like I'm doing anything wrong. And then in practice, nobody's actually standing out. Like nobody, everybody's at each other's neck. Then come to the season, I'm parked. So I'm going from playing 17 to 20 minutes to playing no minutes.
Oh wow!
And I'm like, yeah, I'm confused because it's I'm not gonna say no names, but it's a couple freshmen. Then it's guys that from other schools that came that weren't playing at the other schools. They come here to play, and I know people promise things and stuff like that. So whatever. But as far as like the freshmen playing over me, I'm like, this guy, like, he can't hold my jock strap. Like he can't. This guy, he can't shoot. Like he just he playing bully ball, and he's 6'2". So they playing volleyball with his with that junk. So
no, I got you.
Yeah,
I understand like the whole thing about like playing, not playing kind of thing, like starting like at a high level of playing to kind of because I was at like that at UCLA. It was like some games I would play 30 minutes, some games I would play like 6, and it wouldn't be no explanation. Just be like, all right, you just got to be ready for the next game. So sometimes I'll be amped up, ready to go. I play like 5 minutes. Some games I would be like kind of chilling, like not even really tripping. And all right, Travis,
yeah. So we get to the season, and we got USC at USC, and like I know the coaching staff, and that's my backyard. That's I'm an LA kid, so playing at the Galen Center it's regular to me because I went to Westchester. That's where our championship game were. So I got family. I got about 20 family members coming to the game. They show up. I don't touch the floor at all. Not even garbage time minutes or nothing like I don't touch the floor. And like, how embarrassing is that? Like I'm expecting like, man, I'm about to get in this game. I'm about to show out, or not even show out. Just let me touch the floor. Like
just touch the floor. I got you.
And Reggie and my thing was Reggie knew how big that game was to me. Like being an LA kid, come on now. And then like we got blew out, so it wasn't no reason for me to not touch the floor, even if I'm not in the rotation. So I don't know, but I appreciate my mom, my grandma mostly, because in my mind I was going crazy, like because I didn't know what was going on, but them having the experience in life, they just told me like, don't ever give them nothing bad to say about you. So, just ride along, and then next year we'll fix it. So throughout the year, I'm asking though, like, what do I got to do to get in the rotation, and like what's going on? I think it just came to a head to where I was told, well, I didn't recruit you. So your leash is a little shorter than everybody else's. And I'm like, you could have told me this
before the season started. I could have left.
You could have told me this a long time ago. I could have left and been in a whole different situation. Not to mention that my father died, in the process of this whole thing. So I'm emotional already, and I'm playing with my heart on my sleeve, for him, because this is what he wanted. My dad bred me into this. So this is what he wanted. And I'm like,
trust me, I hear you on that, man.
Yeah. So I'm like, my emotions is everywhere. And then like, I'm like, man, this dude just told me anything to save face. So like, I'm just going through it. Then the season finally ends. And then, everybody had their meetings at the end of the season. And he told me I can keep my scholarship, but I wasn't going to play no matter what I did.
Wow. Damn.
So how devastating is that? Like, he did all of this the year before, talking about my uncle, how he remembers playing against them and all of this. And I want you to stay. I'm going to keep the guys that were in rotation so we can build on it and blah, blah, blah. Then season comes, your guys get clear, and you get, your own recruits in, and you park me. I'm like, I should never talk to this dude again.
Trust me, bro. Like, I understand that. I definitely understand the situation.
Yeah. So at that point, I'm just kind of like in a daze. Like, I don't know where my life is going at this point. Like, I'm not going to sit here and waste my time with you guys, just to be here. I'm not going to do it.
No.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was at that point when I was at UCLA my second year, didn't know if I was going to continue to play, to be honest, Yeah,
he didn't. I mean, and they didn't care. Like, all I had was my scholarship at that time. Like, my mom was struggling financially and mentally. They were together for about 30 years. So they were together since they were like kids. So for them to just tell me that, it's like, you put me out on the street. Like, this is all I got. I'm trying to one day get paid for playing this sport.
Right.
And you taking that away from me. That's like taking food out my mouth. So I'm in a daze, but just I'm gonna say by the grace of God, 2 days later, I get a phone call from California Baptist, Coach Espria, and we're talking a little bit. Like, the conversation isn't that deep. He's just asking me questions, but I think he can kind of tell, like, I'm mentally like in a daze. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen. And then
that's what happens when you think about transferring. You just dejected.
Yeah, man, I'll never want to feel that again. Then he drove, I want to say, like, for 3 days straight, he drove to Northridge from Riverside and had lunch with me just to talk to me, which was cool. Like, which was cool with me. And then I had other calls and other offers, like Alaska Anchorage and Chico State. They called. I actually took a visit to Chico State like a week after, and it was fine and everything, but I just didn't have, I didn't get that feeling. The feeling like, yeah, I want to be here. I didn't get that feeling. And they were trying to get me to sign before I left, but I don't really buckle under pressure, so I didn't sign. I didn't sign, and I told them I would give it a couple days, because it's a big decision for me, like, for me to, go up north and leave my mom when she's struggling. So, so I ended up coming back for a couple of days. Finals were coming up. I was scheduled to take an official visit to Cal Baptist, but I went up to Cal Baptist and like played open run a couple times, and some of the dudes that were transferring there were dudes that I'd known through the hoop circuit already.
Right. Or transferring to Cal Baptist.
Yeah, transferring to Cal Baptist from other schools like Chris Brown and Jelon Wheelwright. Like, so those are guys that I'm familiar with. And I ended up calling Coach Espria one early morning, like, man, I need to cancel the visit. And he like, what you mean? Like, what's going on? What you mean? I'm like, Coach, like, I'm gonna sign with you guys today. Like, I don't need to take a visit. I know where I want to be. And then just to hear the joy in his voice, I was like, yeah, this is cool. Like, somebody wants me. Like,
somebody want me, man. Yeah, yeah.
Somebody want me. And then so I ended up signing with them, and they made the transition smooth. I went there for summer school, got to know the team, got to know the head coach, Coach Croy. And throughout that journey there, I'm not gonna say it was always great or anything like that, but I just, they made me feel like instead of being there the 2 years that I had left to play, I should have been there the entire time. It was like,
well, yeah,
it was family.
obviously hindsight is always 20/20. I think that you'd be thinking like, we all think like, I got to go to like a bigger school or bigger name or whatever the case is. But to be honest, like, it's just about happiness, if wherever you at and if you happy, they'll find you, period. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, when I left UCLA, that's how I felt. I just went to Long Beach State and it was happy because I was just playing and hooping. I didn't have to worry about the up and down, all that stuff. So, yeah, I got you.
So when I got there, it was love from day one. Even when it was down, it was still love. We had some success there though. We won the conference. We won the conference. We got to the Sweet 16. I hit a game winner to get us to the Sweet 16, which is probably like the biggest shot in their school history. But just in all, the coaches, they allowed me to be myself. They supported us. It was a family atmosphere. Like, my brother felt welcome there. My brother used to come, while we were at summer school, I was still on campus. My brother used to come up there and be in the summer camps for the kids and everything. And it was just genuine, heartfelt love. And through that period, I just felt like they saved my life because I didn't know where my life was going at that point.
No, I got you. I
was one decision from being on the streets.
That's yeah, pretty much, and that's how it is, man. I understand that 100%, man, 100%. So you go there at the Cal Baptist, you killing, right? What would you say your biggest triumph in college and your biggest failure was in college?
I want to say my biggest failure first. My biggest failure was, I'm going to say that decision to stay that year at Northridge.
That makes sense.
I'm going to say that's my biggest failure. As far as my triumph, going to Cal Baptist.
No, I got you. And the biggest lesson you learned from college?
Biggest lesson I learned was not to put all my eggs in one basket.
Okay.
I kind of put all my eggs in one basket at Northridge, which kind of almost, derailed me. And to be patient, don't make quick decisions, because during that time I could have made a quick decision to do whatever and been on the street. I could have been like, man, forget basketball, which that was a thought that crossed my mind. Could have been like, forget basketball, and then came home, could have been doing anything. And that's not where my heart would have been. I would have been just walking around depressed all the time.
Yep. That makes sense, man. Trust me, man. I think like the UCLA transfer for myself is like one of the hardest things in my life. And everybody like, you don't leave UCLA, blah, blah, blah.
Man.
But I heard that a lot, but I was like, man, I just want to play and be happy, man. I don't really care, where I go. I just want to play and just be happy and be cool,
Yeah, and that's the part that I feel like a lot of people, they might start understanding soon, but they don't understand is the mental aspect of what, us as
Yeah.
athletes go through.
Yeah, man, that's real. Like people don't know, man. Like people don't know, like all the mental anguish and just what goes on in the athlete's head, man. It's heightened than just the average. I'm not saying the average person stuff ain't hard, but like what athletes go through, man, when your whole life is one thing, and basically you like I can play. But the coach is like, nah, I think you can't.
Yeah. Then it's out of your control. Like I'm
And you just
controlling
like,
everything I
well,
can
all
control.
right. Then I guess I'm not meant for this, Maybe not here,
Yeah.
So you finished strong at Cal Baptist, right?
Finish strong.
Finished strong,
Graduate.
you know what I'm saying? You finished as one of the top scorers in school history. All right. So what's the next thing after that?
Next thing after that, I ended up going overseas to Colombia to play in South
You went to
America.
Bogota, Colombia?
Yeah, I played.
So did I.
I played in. I was in Choco though.
Okay.
Hugo. So I played for the Cimarrones. And
Okay.
we were in Bogota a lot though. Bogota and Medellin and Cali.
Man, how crazy is that? Like, if I would have saw, and my mama would have saw Cocaine Cowboy, she was like, "Heck, no, you can't go to no Colombia." But my mom was with it. They were with it. Like back when I was coming out of Long Beach, they was like, "Okay." But if they ever saw Cocaine Cowboys, they'd be like, "Oh no."
Yeah, for sure. I think my parents would have did the same thing. I think my mom would have said,
Exactly, right?
It's over with for that. Yeah, but no, I ended up going there. Coach Espria helped me get that because he's from Colombia.
Oh, okay.
So he helped me get that deal. I never signed with an agent or anything like that. So the two deals that I got were through Coach Espria. So I went over there and I was in complete culture shock. Yeah, complete culture shock.
Agreed with that, brother.
Agreed with that. It was a change. It was a change that I needed though. It kind of gave me more perspective on the stuff that we have here, like to cherish more stuff that we have here. Because some of the cities that we played in, it's no hot water. We're showering with cold water, and
you couldn't even drink the water.
Yeah, you can't drink the water. You gotta hand wash your jersey every day, and I'm just like, man, I don't mind paying this little $1.75 at the laundromat no more. For real, man. But I enjoyed myself though while I was over there. Played pretty well. And then when I got home, I ended up getting a job and working for the city and stayed home.
So you didn't. So you just did that one stint in Bogota, and didn't go back.
No, I didn't go back. The league started to they were struggling financially too. So that was just another reason for me to, to stay home. But I was looking at a time, like I was playing in the Drew League and stuff like that. Like I'm still playing in the Drew League now, but I was looking for a deal and nothing came up. And then like I didn't have the proper guidance to, how to do the research of finding an agent or what else to do. And then I didn't want to put the burden on, my coaches at Cal Baptist when, they recruiting and stuff. They got, they got to keep it's next man up.
Yeah, no, yeah. So I would say it's hard. I would say it's hard. You got to find the right one. I must have had about 4 or 5 agents, to be honest. Had some, fired some. It's just kind of like whoever can give me the best deal. But it's hard. Like it's really hard to find like a proper one that's in it for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
I hear that a lot.
No,
I
you
hear that a lot.
seriously, like it's because a lot of agents, I could tell you stories, so many stories, like example of like where agents like he needs his roster working, right? So a
Yeah.
team has, let's just say $100,000 and or 150, say they have 150. And say you can get two players for 75,000. Obviously, it's a lot of money, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you can split it up with five dudes making 30. Now
Mm-hmm.
your whole roster is working, but it's $30,000 for the year. It makes the agent look good because all this players is working, but like you be like, man, I can't
Yeah.
make more than 35,000 a year, whatever the case is,
Yeah. I need something else. Yeah, I get you.
And
Yeah.
so like that's why dudes be, they do it for a couple years and they retire. I mean, for me, I did 10 years overseas.
Mm-hmm.
So, I got to a certain point in my career and then I got injured. And then after that, it was like a steady like decline with the money until it got to a point where I was like, forget this, bro. I got to figure out
Yeah.
what I'm gonna do next in my life.
Yeah. And my situation was, yes, I probably could have like took a deal in
Mm-hmm.
Mexico or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But the money, it got to make sense because yes, I'm in Mexico or whatever country I'm in, but my bills are still in the States.
No, for real.
So
It makes sense,
yeah,
bro.
so it has
You know?
to make sense. Like I got to be able to pay my car note. Even though I'm not there, I still gotta help my mom with her rent, or if I'm staying with like my girl, we stay together, so I still gotta send my half to her, so she won't be,
Yeah,
you know.
no, look, if you're making a certain amount of money, I mean, look, my last deal in Germany was nothing,
Hmm.
like, because I was paying like, child support, whatever, for my son.
Hmm.
So it wasn't nothing. And after a while, it's like, I ain't gonna keep going over here for 8, 9, 10 months and making this money, I can make
Yeah,
this money in the States and at least be around my son.
exactly. And that's how I felt. Like if I can, at a point, when I first got out of college, I wasn't tripping on the money because I didn't have as many bills, but
Yeah, 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 yeah.
but once I graduated and got out of school, my responsibility elevated. So
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
had more bills and more responsibility. So me taking I want even a $2,000 deal a month wasn't going to work.
Yeah, no,
Like,
trust me, bro. I understand
yeah,
it. I understand it.
it's not going to work. Like I can make that going to a 9 to 5. I got a degree. I can make that going to a 9 to 5. Versus me being away from everybody and basically playing for free because I'm gonna send my whole 2,000 to the States for the bills I gotta pay.
No, I got you, man. I got you.
Yeah,
So,
so
was it a tough transition when you finished? Like, obviously you have been playing ball from childhood all the way to how old you was when you retired. Was like the transition, like to try to like figure out what was the next part of your journey tough?
yeah, it's still tough today. Like I'm 28, so it's like I could still be playing right now. I feel like
Right. Right.
so it's still tough today, and then I'm seeing these guys that I played against or played with getting these deals and getting this money and it's looking good from the outside looking in, and like the competitive, we always gonna be competitive, like
Of
going
course.
to the
Of course.
devil. So I'm just like, man, this guy just got 85 million for 4 years, and I used to bust his ass. Like, I used to
Right? You
bust
be
his
feeling that way. You
ass.
do. It sounds terrible, but you be feeling that way.
So yeah, I don't think that mental aspect is gonna go away until I feel like I can't play no more. Like right
Hmm.
now, the hardest thing for me right now is being able to focus on my skills and getting back in shape versus going to work. Like that's the hard part right now for me. And my priorities are I got to be able to pay my bills before anything. So
No, I get that, man. I get
Yeah,
that.
so that's really the hard part, and then the mental aspect of it, of not being able to play. It's killer. Like it's killer. I could be getting baskets, and we were on a pedestal at one point.
Hmm.
Like we
Yeah,
go over
no, no, yeah, seriously.
we go
Uh,
overseas, we celebrities.
mm-hmm.
We come home, I go to work every day. I ain't no celebrity no more. Like I'm just I ain't gonna say average. I'm never gonna call myself average, but we just regular 9 to 5 dudes now, and that's like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that the mental aspect from going from here to being
That's
man,
that
it's crazy.
transition, man. The trust me, like, and people don't realize, like, basketball in reality is like a drug,
Yeah.
and it ain't no high like it, you know. And then when you
Hmm.
retire from it, you just be like, what's the what high am I gonna get from something else? That's why
Man,
people be wondering, like, why dudes be hanging on and still playing,
yep.
hanging on to one more contract, because they
Hmm.
don't the transition, they don't know what the next thing gonna be to give you that high of a sport, whatever sport, basketball, football, baseball, whatever.
Yeah, I've been home for about 5, 6 years, and I'm still going through the transition of like, what am I going to do
Mm-hmm.
career wise?
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I
Mm-hmm.
got a
Oh,
decent job. I'm working for the city, but it's not a career yet until your salary.
no, no, I get it, bro. I mean, shoot, it
Yeah.
took me years to get to where I was at, where I'm at now, from ball. I mean, I retired when I was 33,
Hmm.
and say I lived to 93, or, that's 60 more
That's a
years of my life.
long time.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, man, I would just, like for me, it was a struggle. It was a real struggle to figure out what it is. So I understand where you're going. Just keep grinding, keep going, keep grinding. You're gonna find out what your niche is and figure out what it is for you that you want to do.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that because I'm
Oh
I'm
man, it's
I'm
all
I'm
good,
working on
Trey, man. You know what I'm saying? We gotta stick together, man. All brothers stick together.
Yeah, we got to, and I feel basketball is still my therapy. Even
I mean, look,
watching it,
I hoop in a little men's league up here. It ain't nothing, but I just do it for the sweat, Just
yeah,
to,
you do
just
it for
to
the sweat,
put
but
the
you just
ball in the basket and one, something like that.
yeah.
It
But
ain't,
I know
ain't
it's
nothing.
still competitive for you, though. I already know we
Yeah, oh
both trying
look,
to
I
lose.
mean, I be out there having, I be like, get mad at dude, man, make the shot if I pass it to
Yeah,
him.
yeah,
Come
yeah.
on.
You got to
And then I realized, like, we ain't getting paid for this. This is just pickup.
Nah,
So
we're not getting paid.
you know
Yeah,
what
so
I'm
you
saying?
gotta you gotta jump back in your skin a little bit.
Yeah, I gotta be like, dude, let me just relax. My bad, dude. My bad. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Basketball is it's still therapy for me, man, and uh, I'm still going through the transition, even though it's been years since I haven't played.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but shoot, it's gonna work itself out though.
Always does, man. Trust me, man. God got you
Uh-huh.
always, man. Trust me. He got
Yeah,
a plan for you that you don't even know yet. You
yeah.
know what I'm
I'm
saying?
just waiting to
So,
figure it out.
yep, agreed. So my
Hmm.
last question for you, for the audience, man. We always ask this. You know, what is the biggest lesson that like basketball or sports has taught you in your life?
Um, I'm gonna say not to burn, not to burn bridges.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's a big
Um,
one. That's a big one.
yeah, I'm gonna say not to burn bridges because it's been a couple times where I needed something to happen or opportunity to come up, and it'll be just because of me playing basketball against or with somebody, you know, that somebody else was able to help me out. It can be
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
somebody I competed. It can be somebody I competed against for 12 years, and we probably had the worst battles, but just based off of the respect, they might look out for me on the back end. You know what I'm saying? So,
That's
and it's
real.
been it's been times like that. Like I said, I played in the championships against Spencer Dinwiddie, who plays for Washington right now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know Spencer. I mean, I don't know him, but like I know who he is.
Yeah, but like we're cool. Like it's he don't people get up there, they start big timing you and stuff like that. Nah, we cool. Like he'll call me, say, you want to work out, or
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. And then sometimes I need that little workout for my mental.
No, that's all. Look,
Yeah,
brother. Like I get it. Like I said, we all need that. We all need that. I mean, for me, just working out, just in general. Then it don't necessarily have to be basketball, but just hitting the treadmill, or lifting some weights, or something, just to keep my mind just off of everything else.
yeah. And then shoot, another example, I got a guy, Marquise Lee, who was in the NFL.
Yeah, went to SC.
Yeah, went to USC.
Yeah, yeah,
Marquise Lee
went to
is my
Sarah. Yeah.
guy. Yeah, so I talk to him all the time. And he even told me, he like, man, shoot, whenever you out here, I don't want to give up his location, but whenever you out here, bro, you ain't gotta, buy no hotel or nothing like that, bro. You come stay with us. Like, we gonna have a good time, or or anytime you need something, call me. And
Mm-hmm.
one
Mm-hmm.
time I needed something, it was, dire need, made it happen for me, and then shoot, just I never went to school with Marquise. Like, I've just known him through sports.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
we've always been cool. We always been, cordial and respected each other. And then, when the time came, now we grown. We just, he gonna be in my wedding one day. So
Yeah, I got you. I got you. I
yeah,
got you. Okay. All right, Trey. Well, like I said, thank you for telling me your journey, man. Thank you for telling me your story. I think it's good for, older and younger athletes to hear how your journey was and how you keep going, even when your athletic journey is over, but how you keep going in your life journey. That's a blessing. Like I said, and it's a good thing that you keep going. You know what I'm saying? Because trust me, life is a grind, and like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But like as long as you keep getting up, keep going forward, that's what it's about, man.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Got to get you back on, bro. Like I said, once again, appreciate you for coming on. Want to say thank you. And like I said, we'll see you again for next week for Athlete's Journey. Like I said, want to say thank you to Trey Williams. And like I said, we will see you next week.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.